Hello, Lexington Middle School. This is Mr. Paul. You may recognize me. Um, usually I do these small uh, updates that I've been sending out to you over the weekend. But this time I thought maybe I'd try something a little bit different and give you a video. So I'd like to start out. Sorry, that was my phone. I'd like to start out by wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. Be safe over the holidays. Also, hey, I just want to say I appreciate you guys for welcoming me into the family. It's been a great first semester. It's probably been the best semester that I've had in my career, and I'm happy to be here. I know my family's happy to be here. So thanks for allowing me to be here because again, without y'all being open to it, there's no way that I could have or that we could have been a success. Usually I start off my s'more or my weekend update with a quote, some kind of coach's quote. But today I thought I'd try something a little different. I'm going to tell y'all some teacher jokes. And so you're going to have to excuse me. I'm kind of reading them off my computer here. But the first one is the teacher says, "Craig, you know you can't sleep in my class." And Craig says, "I know. Maybe if you were a little quieter, I could." The second one deals with a student that's been getting bad grades. So the little boy wasn't getting very good marks in school, and one day he walks up to the teacher, taps her on the shoulder, and says, "I don't want to scare you, but my daddy says if I don't get better grades, somebody's going to get a whipping." And the last one has to deal with something that y'all have heard quite a bit recently, and I thought it was kind of funny, so I'm going to share it with you. The teacher asked the principal, "Does it count as differentiated instruction if I print their worksheets in different colors?" All right, so those are all corny, I understand, but I thought we would just kind of break it up here. Anyway, a couple of little notes here that I have written down on this paper, this fancy paper that I have in front of me. Don't forget, tomorrow, I guess today, by the time you see this, but Friday at 1:30, we're having our faculty party at Donna Ross's house. Don't forget to sign up on the sheet that Candace Weiser sent out. I think she sent out something that you can either bring a sweet or some kind of not drinks. You bring your own drinks, but some kind of chips or sauce or something. Anyway, sign up to bring something so there's plenty of food to eat tomorrow. Also, bring a gift, and it's not for any particular person. Okay, it's going to be a white elephant present, and we'll talk more about the rules to that tomorrow. But the gift needs to be less than $20. I wouldn't go out and buy anything fancy, because I just wouldn't. But obviously that's up to you. But so the party's tomorrow, 1:30, 3 o'clock at Donna Ross's house. Remember, I know this is tough for some of us. We're not going to have kids there, and that's not easy for me either. So if you're not happy about that, I understand. But anyway, be there. We're going to have a good time. It's only about an hour and a half. We're not going to take up your whole afternoon. You'll be done at 3 o'clock, and then you can go on about your merry way. Okay, when we come back, obviously have a good break. Don't stress yourself out over the break thinking about things that aren't going to get done until you get back anyway. But when we get back, we're going to meet on Monday the 4th, January 4th. We're at 8 o'clock. We're going to have a breakfast in the teacher's lounge down by the library. So we're going to eat from about 8 to 8:15, 8:30. At 8:30, we're going to have a tech training from Janet Campbell. She's going to come in and teach y'all some new techniques to infuse technology into your classrooms and get students more engaged in that part of our curriculum. That'll happen for about 30 minutes, and then Candace Weiser is going to take the stage, and she's going to present to you some things for about 15 minutes. Dr. Schnautz is going to come talk to you for about another 15, 20 minutes. That'll be at 9:15, and then after that, we're going to meet as a faculty. So I'm thinking probably around 9:30, 9:35, we're going to start meeting as a faculty. The things we're going to talk about, obviously, it's going to be like a normal faculty meeting. We'll cover some subjects like our RTI program that we're going to start up in January, what you should have already gotten done for that program, and then what we need to get done to continue to prepare for that program. We're trying to launch that on January 11th. That is 7 days after we come back. Now, I will say this, if we're not ready, then obviously we're not going to shove that thing through, but I would like for us to be as close to ready as possible on January 11th. We're going to have a few activities. One of the things that I want to talk about on that day, and one of the things we're going to get done that day before we break, is what does student engagement look like at Lexington Middle School? And I know I've brought this up a couple times already, so you've had plenty of time to think about it. We're going to come up with a definition on that day. And it's going to be a definition that we all agree upon, because it's going to be one of the things we're going to focus on this spring. What does student engagement at LMS look like? That way, because I'm going to tell you right now, if I asked 23 of you individually, what does student engagement at Lexington Middle School look like, I would get 23 different answers. And so what we want to do is come up with a common definition. 7th grade team has already submitted to me their definition. So I'll use that. I'll use my own definition, and then each of you in groups will submit a definition. Then we'll come up with a definition as a faculty. So that whole meeting, I don't think is going to last more than probably 30 to 45 minutes. So we should be done, I would say, by 10:30. And after that, the rest of the day is yours in your classroom. I'm going to come by and probably talk to a couple of departments about a few things, but the rest of the day is yours. You're done at 3 o'clock on that day. So whatever you can get done, get it done on that day. Excuse me. Lunch is going to be on your own that day. And so one thing to keep in mind is obviously lesson plans for that week are going to be due the next day at 8 o'clock. But also grades for the semester, the second 9 weeks and the semester are going to be due at 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning. So hopefully you've gotten all that stuff already taken care of, or at least a lot of it done, so that you don't have to stress out about it on Monday. But obviously if you need to take some time on Monday to take care of that, please do. When we get back, okay, the first day the kids are back, make sure that you take time to reteach your procedures. The kids, we're going to assume that they know, but they may not, and they may not remember. They forget things in 5 minutes, much less 2 weeks. So make sure you take time the first couple days we get back to teach them about your new procedures, especially the kids that are obviously new to your class. You know, if you've got some new additions to your class, or if you're a semester class, teach them about the new procedures in your class. Also, I think toward the end of the semester, we kind of waned off on our voice levels, teaching the voice levels of the students. Let's reteach that, okay? Reteach that. If all of us are doing it, it'll be easy. If there's only a handful of us doing it, then it's not going to be good, okay? And again, everything is only as good as we all do. You know, if only a few of us decide to enforce tardy rules, or the tardy policy, then it's not going to be good. If only a few of us decide to enforce the dress code, it's not going to be good. If only a few of us decide to enforce the voice levels, then it's not going to be good. I think we did a pretty good job the first semester of all being on the same page with a couple of exceptions. But again, we were successful the first semester because we stuck to the things that we talked about in August. And that was being consistent, being on the same page, being a great team. That's one of the things that makes this school wonderful, is that we're willing to be consistent. And again, we don't all have to agree on everything that happens, but we do have to enforce whatever we decide upon. So even if you disagree with a policy, come talk to me. But if we've decided that this is something that we're all going to agree upon, it's something that needs to be enforced by everybody on the campus. Okay? That's all I have. Again, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for letting me into your family. And, you know, my door's open. So if you ever need anything, come by and holler at me. And I hope you have a wonderful break and enjoy Christmas.